Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Mbuli. Today's show is focused on design and art. Joining us is an inspiring entrepreneur and architect, Tina Kubukeli. She's the CEO of ID Lab Architects, a 100% black female-owned architecture company in the hub of Sandton. And we'll be chatting to her about the challenges of running a company in such a competitive environment. I was recently named the brand ambassador for a renowned French cosmetic company, and we'll be chatting all about it later on. So make sure you stay tuned to find out about, I'm not the only South African to have caught the attention of the French. Later we chat to Gracious Dube, who creates purses out of Rooibos tea bags, and she was noticed by a designer in Paris who now sells her work at markets in the city of love.
Absolutely beautiful story. We cannot wait to share it with you. Good afternoon, South Africa. My name is Danilo Acquisto. And speaking about those bags that were made from tea, I thought it was only apt that today we try and make some iced tea drinks, but obviously slightly with a twist. Chef Aya, the cooking dude, how's it going?
I'm good, man. So listen, today we're going to be making two different types of mocktails, but with that we're going to be using our beautiful Manhattan clover iced teas. And with that, I mean, it's a Thursday today. It's a Puza Thursday. You can call it that. You can call it Thursday.
A Thursday Thursdays. And you can decide obviously at home whether you guys want to be adding something slightly stronger to it at home. But today on the show, we've all got to work. So we'll make sure that we keep those nice and tasty for an afternoon on Afternoon Express. So much to get through. We hope that you guys head over to our social media sites. Hashtag Afternoon Express. Go to Facebook, Twitter, interact with us. We're live on SABC3 and we cannot wait to hear from you. Let's meet our first guest.
Definitely looking forward to that. Dan, please feel free to join me. Architecture is an easy industry. It's not an easy industry to break into, especially in the hub of modern South African design. Today, we're joined by Tina Kubukeli, CEO of ID Lab Architects, a 100% black female-owned architecture company in the heart of Sandton, a far cry from her humble beginnings in Mthatha. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
you for having you with us. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So tell us about growing up in Mthatha.
I'm one of five. Obviously with my mom and dad, we had a very normal childhood, very loving parents. It was beautiful, dusty town.
Would you say it was quite a sheltered childhood?
Extremely sheltered, extremely sheltered with influence from grandparents, etc. It was lovely, but our grandparents sensitized us to what was going on in South Africa, although we didn't experience it firsthand, but we had a bit of an idea.
That something was off.
And it was a huge, huge honor, I guess, for you. And I'm almost glad that your family managed to instill all of these values in you so early on, because you also went on to go and study, which was a privilege at that particular time. And you went to go and study and got your degree, and then afterwards your master's. What did your education journey look like? After?
The education after that?
No, just up until those points. So tell us through your degree and your master's.
How did you fall in love with architecture, for one?
I was very interested in space because we lived in a homeland, former homeland, and when we would travel to East London or Cape Town or Durban, we'd have to transition through border gates to get to the nearest town to shop. And obviously I thought, okay, this is quite strange. And when we'd get there, spatially things were very, very different. Yeah. So it was more beautiful, more cohesive than Mthatha. And I thought, okay, there's a problem here. Yeah. Then in high school, I had the opportunity to go abroad to parts of Egypt and obviously abroad. And I then realized there's a big problem here. And then I decided architecture would be how I would respond to the spatial differences that existed between homeland or previous homeland and the urban areas.
Yeah. And then at 31, you decided to start your own architecture firm.
At 31,
wow. Yes. I mean, that is, first of all, to start a firm at 31 is a mammoth task. But what were some of the challenges you immediately faced and you didn't maybe expect to face?
The gender parity issue has always been there, but we try not to focus too much on it because having biases in your head is a very dangerous space to be in. So you kind of need to keep that demon locked up and you need to get on with things. So the gender parity was an issue and me being fairly young, but you just get on with it. Hey?
It's ironic in so many ways, because in South Africa, 100% or 51% black-owned businesses are being promoted.
Pretentious.
Female-owned businesses are it's like almost like the hot key word.
Yeah.
Yet being a black female on a 100% owned business are finding yourself challenged. So it's not even about the system; it's a mindset.
It is a bit about the system. It's the mindset, but what's very important is the buzzword is 100% black-owned and this. But what is very important is that you've got to be trained, you've got to be very good at what you do, and you've got to have the support to be able to deliver the product that you say you will deliver. And I think that's a narrative that South Africans must have within themselves to say, yes, we are 100% black-owned, but can we back it up?
Yeah. These are the building blocks and these are the big rocks that I
Yes.
must make sure that are in place.
Yes.
And just in that architectural industry and space, just as a female, what are some of the challenges? Because I can hear you're quite a positive person who doesn't call the female the gender inequality card. But what are some, like, realistically, what are some of the challenges and issues?
South Africa is very progressive in what we say, but in terms of what we do, I'm talking about typical thing, invoices being paid on time. Although there's legislation to say small companies ought to be paid on time, but sometimes government organizations do it. They take 6 months, 8 months, a year.
Wow.
Corporates do it. They take a long time to pay. And I don't know if there are any organizations that police this, but it breaks the back of ingenuity and design in South Africa and small businesses. And I think if people are serious about building economies, the focus should be on entrepreneurship and creating enabling platforms for that to happen.
Sure, there's so much that I want to be able to unpack in terms of that conversation around gender and race, in terms of trying to start businesses and entrepreneurship. There's so much to unpack there, but I also want to start celebrating some of the work that you've done or up to this point. I mean, as a young girl, you must have had a lot of experiences with watching the media around some of our political leaders. One of them is obviously the late Mamwini, who, may her soul rest in peace, but she also had quite a large impact on your journey, her and Tata.
Yes, when I was, I think, about 14 years old, we went to Enyandeni, which is the great place in Eastern Cape. The former president lived, he was president then. And I had a few things to ask Dr. Mandela, and I just didn't know that I couldn't ask, but I just asked. And he made time for me. It was actually to do with Joe Slovo and the housing issue. I think I grew up with a father who was in property development, and he ran the properties division of a large company then, so I was quite sensitized to this property space early on. This was a concern for me that people in South Africa had this huge backlog of homes, which is a fundamental need for anyone to transcend to whatever they need.
To thrive.
To thrive. So I asked him who would take over. He took the time to sit with me and talk with me, and I thought, wow, this is incredible. A great thing.
I mean, that must have been a really inspiring and life-changing moment.
Very inspiring.
And alongside all of this, you're also a family woman. You're a mother, you're a wife. How do you juggle it all? I mean, this is the ultimate question that everybody asks, but it is an important question, and we can never hear the answer enough.
Which one's the priority for you? Your business as your baby, or your babies as your baby?
Your babies are your business.
I think it's important for you not to choose. And to allow yourself to make the mistakes when they are pending, and to try and keep each ball up as it comes. I love my business very much. I love my husband very much. My children are, the epitome of our existence. And just throw the balls and keep moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving, and forgive yourself for the things that...
And mistakes are important. It's at this stage in my life where I'm like, with juggling all these things, I'm like, mistakes are essential.
Mistakes are essential.
There's so much that you're working on at the moment, and so much to unpack, and we've got some time in the show today to be able to do that. So South Africa, if you've got any questions for our guests today, you're welcome to go and send them through on our Twitter page, #Afternoon Express, or Afternoon Chat is our handle, or find us on Facebook. We're Afternoon Express. We'd love to be able to hear from you. We're going to return after the break. We're making a delicious mocktail, so stay right where you are.
Express yourself.
Clover Nolak. Lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover. Enjoy full fruit flavour in Ceylon or green tea varieties of Manhattan iced tea. Made with love by Clover. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We are live on SABC3, and I know everyone's panicking about the fact that winter is just around the corner. So transport yourself for a second to those beautiful summery days, and you can imagine a delicious iced tea. Well, I've got a perfect solution for you today. Chef Aya joins us in the loft, and we've got the really cool Clover Manhattan iced teas, and it's brand new. And today we're going to be showing you how to turn these into delicious mocktails. But it's a thirsty Thursday, he said, so might want to add something stronger to it later on.
Okay, man, look, as I said earlier on, you're going to be helping me out with this. You're going to be making your own one, and I'm going to be making my own one.
Oh, so gosh, this is a battle of the bartenders.
No, it's not the battle. I just want you to also have your moment with it, so that when you get home, you can make it easy. So you're going to be making the green tea one. So you're going to have, you have your green tea mocktail over there that you're going to be making.
Like I've recreated that.
And I'm going to be making the beautiful one that I'll say later on. So with your one, you're going to have your mint. You already have your mint there, so you're going to add your honey, and then you're going to squeeze some lemon into it. So the idea is to get that nice pastiness into it.
Okay, I guess these are limes, but you can use anything. Lemon or lime, it makes no difference.
Just use
as long as you've got something
use
zesty.
So with mine, right, and then you're going to, squash that, and then you add a bit of your honey. So the idea is to get that nice pastiness into it, and then you're going to scoop it out with your spoon.
Okay, I see.
On your glass, and then you add your tea. So you're kind of making a virgin mojito, but using the Rooibos.
Okay. The Rooibos equivalent.
Yeah.
So take a look at that. It should look something like that. It's okay, obviously, if it's bruised. You just want to get all those flavors to kind of go in there. Can you guys see? That looks good.
So mine, I'm doing the
I'll show you guys there properly. There we go.
I'm adding ginger, and then I'm adding my lemongrass to it. And then I've got this beautiful, smell this. This is,
ooh, nice.
This is lime and coconut cordial.
Lime and the coconut.
Cordial,
drink it all up.
So you
got the lime
let
and
this
the
simmer
coconut.
for like 5 minutes. And then you let it aside for like another 5 minutes. You don't want to add any hot liquid into your glass. It's going to what? Break.
I don't know, break, I guess. Oh, because you've got the ice in there, so if you had a hot, it's going to...
So now I had my tea. This is my Rooibos tea that I was been simmering for like 5 minutes, and then now I'm going to let it, well, it's already simmered, and then I just need to put it over here for you.
Cool. So mine's basically done and dusted there.
It's done,
I've got little bits in there. Now I'll open up my iced tea. What's cool, these ones are the ones that are caffeine-free, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's caffeine-free.
So I can pour this in here.
Let me add a touch of the honey here as well to get that nice sweetness to it.
Cool, here we go. This is going to be so good. Oh, it already looks so fancy.
It looks great. It smells. Can you smell the mint from it?
Mm-hmm. And this is one of my favorite things to take along with me. So I'm always one of those guys who always buys the iced teas and then keeps them with me the whole day. And, you know, because just busy lifestyles, you've got to run around, you've got to be able to sip it as you go.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Just now you have to finish it off with your limes.
Boom.
I mean, I have some stuff chopped up for you there.
Love it. So I can just gooi these in.
Just gooi in.
Obviously, the idea with making these cocktails, South Africa, is that if you want to be able to make something that's your own, perhaps you've got a nice flavor combination, or you're a mojito girl, perhaps you're one of those, I don't know, Cosmo girls, just play around with different flavor combinations.
That's beautiful. And then you finish it off with your mint.
On top.
You gotta have a green in everything you're doing.
Yours looks so cool. Mine felt like it was...
No, yours looks awesome.
Can I taste yours?
You can taste it. Cheers. Sweet.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, yum. The way they combined all those flavors together is delicious. So I've actually never used that that particular Manhattan in a drink before. So that's really yum.
And the fact that there's no caffeine added to it. I mean,
Lovely.
It's perfect.
Perfetto. It's perfect for those summer afternoons. So if you're looking for something just to refresh your soul, had a long day at work and perhaps you've got one of those headaches, you know, you've got those stress headaches, this is the perfect drink to refresh you. These mocktail ideas are certainly set to impress your next dinner party guests. So get making them yourselves, give them a go, and obviously taste some time and take some time out of your busy schedules to try the new and delicious addition to the Clover Manhattan Rooibos iced tea range. If you want to get all the details for this recipe, you can SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 at a cost of R1.50. Remembering your free SMSs don't apply. Enjoy full fruit flavor in Ceylon or green tea varieties of Manhattan iced tea. Made with love by Clover. Should have actually brought you guys some because it was so good.
Yes, you should have brought it over.
So I'm feeling refreshed. I don't know how you guys are feeling.
We're feeling just fine, actually. Thank you for asking.
Listen, we've obviously just got Tina back on the couch with us today, and it's been such a cool conversation talking about what it's like to be a female who owns a company in South Africa, trying to break into the world of architecture. And so we've just kind of really touched the surface of your journey thus far.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about your actual work. And I know you have a passion for coming into spaces where there was nothing before and creating something and completely transforming that. Yeah. And that's something that's very intrinsic in South Africa's development. From township spaces where we've had to build and create out of nothing.
Yes. For us as a practice, certainly for me, participating in nation building and the actual technical work of building the physical infrastructure is completely exciting. And that's what I want to give to the world. And we had the opportunity to be invited by one of the top 5 banks to create a urban public space for them that basically regenerated. It's called urban regeneration, regenerated a dead space, essentially. And we did that with so much flair, and it was a great project.
It sounded like it almost was so inspired by, like you're saying, these leaders of our country are trying to do the same thing for our nation, is rebuilding a nation. You're trying to rebuild spaces, and it got so well received. You know, these spaces are beautiful.
Thank you.
And how? I mean, is urban regeneration something you're passionate about?
I'm very passionate about urban regeneration, but I think certainly in Europe, the move because the European cities are hundreds of thousands of years old, so they have moved more in that direction, whereas South Africa still has the potential to move in that direction, where the cities will need to re-stitch back together. And I think it presents a wonderful opportunity for architects, urban designers and planners and developers to work together, and clients, big clients, to work together to rebuild our cities.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm keen to know about the world of business in South Africa, especially business in the spaces that you're in.
Yes.
You're a female-owned business, 100% female-owned, 100% black-owned business in the country. It's a space that everyone wants to play in because they think that, oh, this is where the money's at, this is where the tenders are at. Let's paint a very real picture of what it's like to run a company such as yours in a climate like South Africa at the moment.
There are good days and bad days. Which one do you want? Do you want the good day?
We want the real, whatever's real.
The real, the authentic.
So right now in the economy, things are quite still and quiet. I think it possibly has something to do with downgrading and politics, etc. So there is a bit of a cash flow problem in the greater economy. People have the bank money is there in terms of we have the bank balance is there, but the invoices are not being paid on time. So that's the reality. So bosses right now are not getting salaries, and they are pulling in all their resources to pay their staff. And on the one hand, there's the South African Receiver of Revenue. If you tender in South Africa, there's a CSD portal where every single month you pay your tax, everything on time, or you cannot tender because that...
Yeah, you penalise. You've almost got like a label against your name.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when it's times that are as tough as this, businesses are struggling to keep afloat. Not because they don't want to, but because they actually can't.
Yeah.
And I think that part of the ministries should look specifically at helping small businesses with helping them to grow, as it were. I personally feel that small businesses in South Africa shouldn't be taxed exactly the same as the big businesses, but I'm not in politics. This is my humble opinion.
Yeah, but it's not politics. It's just that your average day running of a business is difficult.
Absolutely.
Are you finding that the industry is respecting you as a female owning a company in South Africa?
Absolutely. Certainly this year I've had a lot of inquiries, people wanting to know who we are, and people coming to visit us, both black and white architects, who would like to collaborate on work, which is
awesome.
Very exciting for us.
Yeah. Now, I know you've had some great moments in your career so far, but you also say that you know that the biggest highlight is yet to come.
Yes.
Just in your mind's eye, what is your dream architecture piece?
Sure. I don't want to bog myself down with that, but I will say that one of my biggest dreams is to maybe be a part of the Walter Sisulu, the local university in the Transkei, and maybe open an architecture department there, because architecture is not accessible to children who come from homelands. And you find that they do have creative flair, but because of no access, they don't gain access into that space.
So you can create one building. Here you're trying to create architects to make millions of buildings. Is that kind of like the vision, which is so beautiful?
And bring the African language to the world. I think the world is waiting for that.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a space that's hungry for representation. I mean, apart from just access, young kids need to see people who look like them becoming architects for it to be a possibility in their minds.
What about your sons? I mean, what is your hope for them as young men growing up in South Africa, you know, in terms of the world of business, in terms of just being human beings in South Africa? What is your hope and dream for them?
For them, first and foremost, I want them to know and feel that they are enough as people, without wealth, without anything, without the cladding of whatever.
Without accolades.
Without accolades, that each of them are enough just as human beings. And then from there, I want them to go into the world and be good people who will add value to other people's lives. If they want to participate in the business, that's great, with other people who will be running it then. Or if they want to go and do their own thing, that's also incredible. I want them to be very happy and good people.
Oh, you are so inspiring. Thank you so much for inspiring us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful to have you on the show today. You are a huge inspiration for other young women, and the legacy of Mam Winnie continues to live through people like you who, you know, are stepping into that ring and are fighting the big fights. So we salute you, and lots of love and respect for Martin
and you're quite a fiery lady in red.
Yeah.
Let's bring fire. Let's bring fire.
Listen, speaking of Lady in Red, there have been so many people who have arrived at the Presenter Search auditions dressed up beautifully in like lovely red dresses. Do you find something that's unique about you? Because the Durban Presenter Search on 3 auditions are on the way to you this weekend, guys. The season is brought to you by Capitec and Mac Cafe, and this weekend's auditions will be held at the Durban Exhibition Centre. It's happening on Saturday and Sunday, the 14th and 15th of April. Those gates will officially open at 8 a.m. and you can enter the auditions using Gate A on the Walnut Road entrance, all right? So Walnut Road, Gate A is where you need to find those lines starting. Parking is limited there, so please try and use public transport or get yourself dropped off. When you arrive, all you have to do is register at the gate and prepare a short link that will show the judges that you are ready to be the new face of SABC3. The PE and Cape Town auditions were very, very well attended, so Durban, make sure that you guys come dressed to impress, not in only red dresses, all right? For more details and a list of audition venues in a city near you, you can visit presentersearchon3.com. step into the spotlight as South Africa's next TV superstar with Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe.
Own the SABC3 stage as the newest host of top-billing Afternoon Express or the Expresso Morning Show.
The spotlight turns to Durban with auditions taking place on the 14th and 15th of April at the Durban Exhibition Centre. Gates open at 8 a.m.
Visit presentersearchon3.com for more details.
With SABC3,
the stage is yours.
So keep connecting with us online. We'd love to be able to hear from you. Join our conversations. You can find us Afternoon Express on Facebook, Afternoon Chat on Twitter. We want to know which female figure in a male-dominated industry inspires you. You can tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or you can comment on our Facebook page. Now, we mentioned at the top of the show that Bonnie has been named as the brand ambassador for a renowned cosmetics company. Well, stay tuned because we'll reveal all those details after the break.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Via Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
Warm welcome back to Afternoon Express. We are live on SABC3 and it's so good to have you with us on the show today. Now listen, recent studies have shown that our skins are becoming more and more sensitive every single day. 50% of the world's population reported having sensitive skin. Now this is why, now more than ever, we need products that respect our sensitivity. The Earth Thermal Aven is skincare range is obviously based on Aven. It's a thermal spring water, a unique ingredient clinically proven to soothe all types of sensitive skin. And our beautiful Bonnie Mbuli was recently announced as their brand ambassador. And we're about to find out just exactly what makes the skincare range so unique. And before we actually go into that sort of space, I'm just dying to know the whole point of beauty products and things as even myself, I always go by recommendation. And you clearly have specific things in mind when looking for a product, right?
Absolutely, and I think as a woman, as we are inundated with information about skincare, what brand to buy, blah blah blah. And after a while, you start to feel like none of the brands really do what they say they do. What's really exciting about partnering with a brand like Aven is that I am so impressed by what it can do, what it delivers. It's a credible brand, it's effective, and it's a quality brand. And I'm able to say, wow, I finally found a brand that meets all my skincare needs.
Which is awesome. And I even had Bonnie arrives at studio sometimes in the makeup room and all the makeup artists are like, your skin's looking so good. And she's like, wow.
You've been commenting on my skin.
Even I have. So Bonnie's got a love-hate relationship when it comes to skin. And I've always remembered that we're all self-conscious about our faces. It's such a vital part of our careers as well.
Yes.
So before you managed to meet the phenomenal Aven, what were you looking for in a product? What do you need from beauty products?
Well, and I think skincare is something that needs to evolve in your life. You need to know how to look after your skin, and obviously with climate change and with stressful lifestyle, your skincare needs change over time. So you need to meet those needs effectively. And I think what I was looking for was a brand where I've got uneven skin tone, well, much less now, thanks to Aven. And I just needed a brand that could help my skin recover quickly, and I could know and be confident that I'm nurturing it, that I'm giving it the right ingredients. And also, I feel like people don't really realize how harmful the sun is. And how much you need sun protection that you need. And sometimes it's really tough for a women feel like I need to choose between a moisturizer and an SPF. But I finally found a brand that's able to balance both, so I can wear moisturizer and an SPF and not feel like my skin is oily.
So compact, and also crossing over those brand lines, you know?
Absolutely, and also what I'm really excited about as the brand packaging and the active ingredient, which is the Aven spring water, which is from a town called Aven in France, and there's a hydrotherapy center there where children with psoriasis, with eczema and dry skin get sent to the hydrotherapy center, and they do treatments.
That's so cool. And obviously the company's
been... And this is the spring where
it all starts to happen. This company's been around for 25 years, so clearly they're doing a lot of research and stuff into these spaces, and I'm so excited to hear you talk about trying to find that one brand that gets sensitive skin, that gets the sort of complex nature of living in a world with so much pollution and stuff around us. You found almost like a one-stop shop for all these different products that you need, as opposed to trying to find, I've got my exfoliator from here, my skin care, something from there. You've managed to find a place that's kind of really doing those wonders for you, and you can see the results almost immediately.
Absolutely, I can, and I also know that I'm just confident knowing that it feels great. I also use it on my son who suffers from eczema. So they have a range called the Zero Calm range, which is specifically tailor-made for eczema and psoriasis and dry skin. And it just feels good knowing that your skin is soothed. You know, when you look in the mirror and you see your skin looking beautiful, you're quite confident about all the things that you can do. The rest of your day. I feel like you can take over the world.
Totally, and your face is the first thing people see, obviously. You can really cover it up with the rest of our body, moving into winter.
Especially in our industry and in our line of work.
Makeup on, makeup off, makeup on, makeup off. So it's been really cool to chat to you, because I think for me, one of the issues I've always found when it comes to skincare is whenever you change across to a new product, or you're trying two different products over each other with different things you mentioned, there's like SPF and a skincare range, your skin reacts funny. You get oily skin and get bumps and things. So I think this is something that I need to try out myself.
I think you should. I'm going to actually bring you some.
When will I get my supply?
Some products.
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Come on.
And I'm going to bring you some spray. And the Ultimar spray I use on everything. I use it all the time because
Stunning.
it's just pure spring water and it's got so many incredible ingredients.
You guys know Bonnie to only say something when it has absolute relevance or it's important. I don't think I've ever heard somebody talk so much about a product in my life, even off cameras when there's nothing around. She's just like, guys, I must tell you, this stuff is amazing. So it's really cool to see you so really genuinely passionate about it.
Absolutely.
And I've met the team and they're super friendly as well, which makes it so much better. Tomal Aven offers obviously solutions for everyday beauty routines, but also more specialized skin concerns such as uneven skin tone, as Bonnie mentioned, blemishes, eczema, and more. You can visit the website to discover the range for yourself, and you can win an Aven product hamper tailored to your skin needs, valued at 1,000 Rand. All you need to do is go over to our Afternoon Express Facebook page right now and then answer the easy question. It is, what is the unique ingredient found in all the Tomal Aven products? T's and C's are available on afternoonexpress.co.za. Bonnie did mention it earlier on. She mentioned it once.
I love your French.
Tomal.
Tomal.
But then I go back into my flat South African accent when I carry on the rest of the show. All right. After the break, we chat to another woman who has caught the attention of the French, Gracious Dube, who creates beautiful handbags and purses as well. She makes those using Rooibos tea bags. How cool is that? Stay tuned.
Soothing by nature.
Next week on Tropical Island of Treasure, Maldives, the contestants set their sight on the final bounty and shoot for their place in the grand finale.
And we're starting to shoot, and it just keeps on coming back.
Well, the wind did what it needed to do. How about that?
Oh, now how do we do this? What the hell? The game is not over until it's over.
Catch Season 8 of Tropical Island of Treasure, Maldives, Mondays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
This is my third or my fourth time judging the Presenter Search, and I absolutely love it. There's nothing more thrilling than going across the country in search of some fresh, awesome talent. This year, I'm looking for something special. I want the kind of people to audition who are savvy, who are thinkers, who are ambitious, who really want to focus on this as a career, not just as an easy road to being famous. What's so interesting about the entertainment industry nowadays is that you might be a TV presenter for one particular show, but there's so many other different channels and platforms that you exist on as well. It all coexists online and, of course, on TV. So it's fascinating, actually, the way it's all growing so quickly. But things like social media are just as important to focus on as well. You need to be intelligent, you need to be astute, you need to be wide awake and have the energy to be able to handle any kind of environment. You really need something special. I'm looking for a little bit of magic.
Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe. Durban, we cannot wait to see you at those auditions. You could be sitting around this table interviewing some of the most incredible people in the country. So looking forward to seeing you. And a warm welcome back to Afternoon Express. Bonnie and I are having a great show today. Just really enjoying interviewing some of the most incredible women doing great things in our country. And with a growing global interest in sustainability, upcycling has become very popular, and it's a way to produce fashion and art around the world.
Absolutely. And it's tea time, and you're about to find out why. Gracious Dube from Hart Bay in Cape Town started producing handmade purses from Rooibos tea bags, and her beautiful creations caught the eye of a French fashion designer. Now you can purchase a Gracious Dube original at markets in Paris.
Girl, go get it. How awesome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I would give you champagne.
How are you?
Good. So
Thank you.
where did the idea of using Rooibos tea bags to make bags or merchandise come from?
It all came through the company that I'm working for, the recycling used tea bags. So I started to work with them, and through working with them, the lady who started the whole thing, she gave us an opportunity to say you can create your own things at home, and they can sell it in our shop in order to earn extra cash.
Oh, cool.
So when I was at home the other day, I just decided, okay, I want to make a bag. I knew I wanted to make a bag out of tea bags, but finding the right glue to make the fabric, it was not easy, but that's how the whole thing started.
Came about.
So when I imagine a tea bag, right, it seems like it's the material is quite thin,
flimsy, yeah.
and that it would break easily. So how do you get it to be quite resilient and tough?
I'm only using Rooibos tea bags. So also
Are those the strongest ones?
They are the strongest one. So in making the bags, I've realized I tried to use other tea bags, but then I noticed that they were not as strong as the Rooibos. So I think the Rooibos tea bags, it's because the tea itself is got the grains. So the tea bag, it has to be strong.
I see, so it doesn't break through.
So the Rooibos tea bag is the one that I use, and then with the right glue, it's working perfect.
I'm dying to know, are you even a fan of Rooibos tea?
I am a fan of them.
Okay. Anyway, so you were drinking Rooibos tea in any case, and then realized, cool, this is a nice way to be able to use those tea bags.
Yes, yeah.
Where do you find your tea bags? I mean, do you have to drink copious amounts of tea, or are you having to outsource tea bags now?
Yes, I do drink tea all the time.
All the time.
But most of the tea bags, we do get them from the company that I'm working for. So people from all over the world, they recycle their tea bags for us. Wow. So they post them to us, or they bring them to us. That's cool. Where I collect all my Rooibos tea bags.
So how do you prepare the actual tea bags to use them? Do you iron them? Do you have to put them out in the sun? Is there like a process that you have to take them through before you can use them?
Yes, when the tea bags, when they come, they already dry. So some people, they empty them for us, but then sometimes they still have tea. So what I do, I sift through the tea bags at work, and then I just take the Rooibos. Those are the ones that I'm using, and then I take them home, and then I open them, take the tea out, iron the bag, and then I start to do.
Are you telling me you can spot a Rooibos tea bag from anywhere?
Yes, I can spot it.
Yes, she knows. You know, there's awkward moment when you're in the kitchen always, and there's like a mixed bag of tea bags. You're like sniffing them all, like
that's a Rooibos tea bag.
Not too sure. We'll just bring you in.
No, I can tell from looking. I can tell that that's a Rooibos tea bag.
Yeah. I'm so excited to learn about sort of young you. You've spoken about this cool success, and I mean, your bags have been now taken to Paris to be sold, and I think that's such a beautiful achievement for you.
Yes,
but
it is.
Young you, tell me about your journey moving forward, like as a young girl moving into this space. What were your dreams and passions? What was your family like?
When I grew up, I wanted to be a lawyer, but then I was not good at school. But I wanted to be a lawyer. And my background, I'm originally from Zimbabwe. So I came in South Africa in 2001.
You were 11, I think, at that age, or were you slightly older than that? I don't know. I don't even
No,
do
I
maths.
was 19 years old.
Okay, 19. Okay, she laughs like I'm like, you see, I'd rather make you sound younger than older, right? Else there'll be a lot more trouble.
No, I was 19 years old. So I came here in South Africa and then I stayed in Joburg, but I was not happy with the salaries of Joburg. When I came, when I was looking for a job.
Said no one ever. I've never heard anyone say they weren't happy with the Joburg salaries.
No, I guess I wanted more salary. I think I wanted more money.
I hear you, girl. I want more salary.
So what I did my research, and then I find out that, okay, if I can go to Cape Town, I'm sure I'll earn more salary there, because for someone who was not educated, I thought, okay, Cape Town, there's like better opportunities for me to earn more salary. So I came here in Cape Town, and then in Cape Town, I didn't have a job. And then back home, I'm spiritually, the family that I'm coming from, they are spiritually strong. So the first thing that I did, I asked my friends around, is there a church around? And then they told me that, yes, there's a church. And then they showed me where the church was. And then I went to church. And then after service, I said, no, I don't know anyone here. The only people who can help me maybe is the pastor and maybe the leaders of the church. So I asked to speak to the social worker from the church, and she was the assistant to the pastor. So I told her, look, I'm new here and I'm looking for a job. And if you hear anything at the moment, I can take anything because I'm looking for a job. So the assistant, she said, oh, okay. She took my phone number, and then she said, okay, if I hear anything, I will call you. And then after a few days, she called me. She said, okay, can I meet you? So I said, yes. And then I went to meet, and then she said, you know, I found you a job. And you know what? That day when I went to meet her, I was wearing a pink hat. She said, you know what? You're wearing a pink pretty hat. I'm sure this job, you like it. So I'm like, what's the job?
What kind of job could that be?
And she's like, okay, it's something to do with art. It's something to do with designing. I'm sure you love it because I can see from your head. So I'm like, designing? And then she's like, yes, you'll be designing tea bags. So I didn't want to ask a lot about the designing of tea bags. I just ended up saying, oh, okay, maybe this company, they make tea bags. That's what I thought.
Right.
So yes,
bags.
I thought, okay, they make tea bags. I didn't think anything to do with designing of tea bags. Okay, so she said, okay, you will meet this lady tomorrow. So she gave me the address. She said, you can go. And then when you arrive there, you must just arrive there at 9. Yeah. So I arrived. When I arrived there, there were also like 6 other ladies that were there. And then I met Jill, the lady who started the whole thing. And then we chat, and then she showed us the DVD. So the DVD, it was just explaining that they recycle tea bags, and it's an upliftment project that she was doing in the township, helping ladies creating jobs.
Sure, and obviously for the whole thing unfolded from there, and the rest became history because you clearly got to work for her, right?
Yes.
But I'm so excited to know what you're going to plan to do for the other women living in Imizamo Yetu who are keen to do the same thing, because you've had an opportunity to break out of this space.
Yes.
What about the other ladies?
The other ladies as well, like we are getting opportunities. So other ladies, they're also making their own products.
Out of the tea
bags.
Out
of the tea bags
and
as
you
well.
brought some products with you today. So,
yes, I did bring,
and you have some models with you who are going to model the products.
We're also working from Imizamo Yetu in the house.
Hello,
it's good
ladies.
to have you guys, yeah. So talk me through this bag that you've got there, that she's got.
Okay, that one is, this bag, I decided to call it the Paris bag. The design, I got it from a French Paris designer. She came in our waterfront shop, and then she was inspired with one of my makeup bags. And then she wanted this design, but I was not making this design. So she asked it to work with me, and then she showed me how to make the design.
Stunning.
And then she's buying this Paris bag from me.
But I also see the jewelry. That jewelry looks different to most.
Yes, we also do jewelry, so it's also done with the bangle. It's out of tea. Yes, the bangle she's having is jewelry, even the earrings as well.
Wow, so
that is amazing.
What a cool concept. I mean, I could fit my laptop in there, I'm pretty sure, and carry that around. They're unisex products, right?
Yes. And what do you line the bags with?
It's a normal lining. And then she's got also this one. It's a pencil bag. So you can put all your stationery there.
Or your makeup.
Or your makeup.
Stunning. Let's take a look at the next bag that we've got. Our second model can come out. We'd like to have a see at this one. You've also used this protective layer on the outside. I'm guessing in European countries like, I guess, Paris, when it starts to rain, you don't want your tea bags to melt.
Okay, so this one I call it the shoulder bag. That was the first design that I designed in 2009. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did put a plastic, and from this bag, that was my first design when I got inspired with the lady who started the whole thing, Jill Hayes.
Yes.
So she inspired me to say, no, you must create something. And then that was the first bag that I did make. And then when I made it, I didn't put a plastic, and then she inspired me to say, no, I think you must put a covering around if it's raining and stuff. So that was the first bag that I made.
To protect the
I'm such a boy, but I'm intrigued to know what happens when it does rain in those bags without the plastic getting wet. I'm keen to see what happens.
We're so excited
I'm sure,
for you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah. What are your dreams for your future?
My dreams at the moment is to register my company, to have my own company, register it, and to employ more ladies, because at the moment there's a few ladies when I'm having big orders, there's few ladies who help me with the splitting and the ironing of the tea bags.
Yes.
So I'm hoping when it gets bigger, when I register my company, I can employ them full-time. Yes.
Well, we must finish this tea so we can give you the rest of our tea bags.
And then you can get that big salary you've been wanting.
Yes, girl.
We'll be back with more from Gracious Dube and the inspiring entrepreneur and CEO of ID Lab Architects, Tina Kubukeli.
What am I looking for in a presenter? I think first things first, you need to be very comfortable in front of the camera. In fact, you need to eat that camera up. You need to look like you were born with that camera in your face. If you look like you're doing stuff for camera, then you're the wrong person for the job. I think being a presenter in 2018, whether it's radio or TV, is you need vast general knowledge. You need to be able to improvise at all times. You need to be able to do an interview with zero knowledge of your subject, for instance. Social media, I feel, is also very important because that's where people consume you when you're not in front of the camera, when you're not in front of the microphone. So I think those tools are very important. Being a brand ambassador is realizing that you don't belong to yourself anymore, that every move that you make is under a microscope, but also understanding whom you're talking to. Knowing your audience is very important. Why would you want this gig? I think, why not? Why would you not want to be in front of the camera? Why would you not want to be on this stage that's SABC3 in the first place? If TV is what you love, then this is the perfect place to start. It might be a bit of a deep end for some, but that's sometimes the best time to learn how to swim, when you're right in there. So join us. The stage is yours.
Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe. Well, welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. Time is flying by, and I hope you guys are loving joining us on the show today. I won't tell you whether our mocktails turn into real cocktails, that you'll have to guess for yourself.
Absolutely. And today we've been inspired by 2 South African women in the form of accessories designer Gracious Dube, who creates hand purses out of Rooibos tea bags, as well as entrepreneur and CEO of ID Lab Architects, Tina Kubukeli.
Yeah, and what an inspiring show we've had today. You two are just doing incredible things. I thought before we got into carry on chatting to you guys about your feelings about our country and moving forward in South Africa, we asked you at home to engage with us and tell us which women in business or in whatever industry, which is generally traditionally male-dominated, are you inspired by? And we got some great comments that came through. One came through from Mbali Radebe, who says, Xoliswa Daku, she's a brilliant woman in the property development field, such an inspiration. And then on a slightly different note, Shelter says, DJ Zinhle, she inspires me, her maturity and her TV show. When we had her on, obviously on Afternoon Express, she was speaking a bit about being in that space. Terry Petro's name came up a couple of times, Zinhle came up a couple of times, Carol Chabalala popped in there, proud of you, Mamita. It's quite cool to have her photo in there as well. In the field of architecture has to be Zaha Hadid, although she passed away in 2016. So may her soul rest in peace for that one. And I'll just read one more, which was Mercy said, it'll have to go with Masechaba and Ndlovu. She's an awesome, brilliant woman and a go-getter. Have you shared your thoughts?
So I saw you nod when they said Zaha Hadid. Tell us about how she inspired you.
Zaha Hadid, when we were in university in about 98, 99, I was just starting. She was into a space called deconstructivist architecture, and it was very new. So typology, it was like a zeitgeist, very new zeitgeist then. And people didn't understand it, and she was so into it. But as the years evolved, the world caught on, and she became so accoladed. I love her.
That's amazing.
I'm so inspired by her as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're inspired by you too.
Yeah.
Before we have to wrap up the show, I wanted to get one comment from you, please, Gracious, if we can. I'm really just keen to know for other young women who are trying to break into a world that you're in, who are feeling hopeless at home and feel like, there's not many opportunities. You're clearly a go-getter and a fighter.
Yes.
What will drive them as well?
I think you have to decide. It starts with you. Like if you really know, you really need to know your dreams. What do you want? From here, where do you want to go? And then do have that dream. When you have that dream, now you have to work on it. So you have to work hard on that dream, no matter what. You know that, okay, I want to achieve this and that. So you work on it. So I think it starts with you.
Yeah,
as an individual.
I love that. Because I think a lot of the conversations in politics and going around in South Africa at the moment is we came out of this very hopeful. We came out of apartheid very hopeful that we were going to grow as a country and all these opportunities were going to come flying at us. And I think South Africans then became despondent to realize, like, wait, there aren't that many opportunities. I need to do this for myself.
Starts with us.
It does start with you. It starts with you.
Yeah.
Deciding what you want.
It starts by dreaming that, by having that dream, and then you decide, you work on it. So like opportunities, they don't come. You have to
pursue them.
Find them.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. Tina, Gracious, thank you so much for joining us today. You've really been an inspiration. We wish you all the best on your entrepreneurial journey.
Can you believe it, guys? Finally, tomorrow is Friday. It is the weekend. We cannot wait. What a week we've had on Afternoon Express as well. Hope you guys have continued to engage with us on social media. Even after the show, continue to tweet us. #Afternoon Express and find us Afternoon Chat or Facebook Afternoon Express.
Absolutely.
We love you lots, South Africa. Good night and happy eating.
Bye.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.